everything I say right now, like I'm saying it to myself and others. Like, look, we gotta trust God in our spirit more. It really be understanding. Like, look, like you're not happy here. This ain't for you. You know, whether that be a relationship and you feeling like, man, I just want to leave, but it's just thing like I can't. Or it's a job, don't it? Or a job, you know, don't it seem like it's like tough to let something go because you have some type of spiritual tie with that? But you have a choice to do it. But we start thinking about like, okay, but what about like, you know, am I gonna have somebody left? Or like, you know, am I gonna feel comfortable alone and this and that? Am I gonna have the money to after I quit my job? Like, what is gonna happen? You know. But when we start doing that, we're not operating in faith. We're getting immediately in fear because we're thinking about everything. Of course, you know, it's wise to prepare and think about things. But if you're, you know, if you prepared and you're really having that communication with the Most High, you're not gonna have to be questioning it. You know, you're gonna just be like, I'm gonna just do it because God said he'll take care of me, and when you take one step, he'll take another. And a lot of people don't really believe in that. They'll be like, okay, they say it in one area, they say like, yeah, I'll take one step and I'll trust him to do another. But when it comes to something like serious, like, hey, leave this job, you know, leave or drop, you know, sell this car, you know, just to give away $10,000 to this person, you know, things that are like beyond that normal. Damon will be like, what? No, you sound crazy. Then they'll mock another person like, why would you do that? Like, you end up quitting that good job. You had a good job, you know. Or, you know, why would you, like, leave them? You know, you guys were so happy. But they don't know how you're feeling on the inside. People always act like they might know how you feel on the inside. They don't know. And I wouldn't, honestly, these people don't know, so why do you even care? You know, they might be the closest people to you, but you have to really come to a mindset of like, look, I'm not living my life for these people. You know, I love them and all, but look, I'm gonna be miserable if I keep on doing what I'm doing because where does the can really go down the road? Like, it's really gonna go one place, and you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna get so fed up, and then you're gonna blow up on somebody. You don't want to get to that level. Why don't we can start trusting more? Why don't why don't I trust more? Why don't I, you know, believe more? By me believing myself, I'm believing in God more, you know? Why don't I increase my faith, you know? Because when you increase your faith, that's the currency. God's going to move on it. Anything is answered when you have faith. That's the only way we can speak with God. So it's like, why don't I do these things so then I can change my life? The life that I keep on seeing in my brain, it only going to happen through my faith. So it's like, why don't we do these things so that we can just not suffer? You know, we don't have all freaking life all year, no, we don't have the time like that to really be wasting and doing things that are not putting that legacy on our name. I'm really about us building legacy, us building communities, us changing, impacting the world. And you know, that happens because one person decided to do something that was abnormal. One person was the black sheep. One person decided to listen to God. He took note. He took heed, and it wasn't. And people probably call them crazy. And when you're getting called crazy, when you know you're doing something for God, you end up like knowing you're doing something right. But yeah, you will feel some type of way. But man, you know, when you're doing something for the Most High and you're doing it all in all, you saying like, I don't give up. I know He gonna have to provide for me, because if He provides for these birds, if He provides for all these other animals and the plants, the grass, you know, etc., then why wouldn't He do that for something for us? You know, we're His best creation, you know, and His smartest creation. Why wouldn't He do that for us when He knows that we need clothes, food, shelter, you know, and everything, you know? So we gotta really get to a point where it's like we love the word of that God keeps on speaking in us, because faith comes by hearing, and we gotta listen to the word, you know, listen to people speak on testimonies, listen to people have preach on things that need to be talked about. Those are the things that we need to be like flooding our ears with, instead of like, there's a lot of things that we can be listening in that's nonsense. And nonsense clogs up your like mind all the time, because it's like so much around us, because we're in a world full of nonsense. And this is what makes us have so much self-doubt. I'm noticing, like, the nonsense that we allow to get into our spirit, that's what keeps on making us doubt ourselves. When we forget that ourselves are like so strong, like we're like able to do anything, like anything, you know. So it's so much self-doubt, so much people walking with it in their spirit, so it's making you think that, man, you know, this is who I like. It's making you have self-doubt, but that self-doubt never came from you. It rubbed off from other people around you, things you listened to, foods you ate, everything, places you've been around, the people's presence, the energy, that's all fed into it. And this is what makes you not take that leap of faith, is because we have so much self-doubt from the negative environment, and we need to pray it off, get it off. And every time we have negative thoughts, pray it out. Just like Hezekiah, I believe, you know, when he was getting he was supposed to die, you know, he was getting a message like, hey, you're supposed to die soon. That was the warning, you know. And he immediately heard that. He said, no, Lord, you know, he prayed it out and said, like, look, you know, I've been a faithful servant, you know, and blah, 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 you know. And he, instead of him getting into fear, he went into faith and said, like, no, Lord, you know, I've been a faithful servant. There's no way that I deserve it, you know. And the Lord heard him out and said, okay, you know, you'll be granted what, you know, I believe it was 15 more or 30 years, I think 15 more years of life. And what if he would have been a little and said, like, you know, like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, I try to bend in fear and then thinking of all these dumbass things. But he went into prayer and he was wise, and that's why, like Solomon said, the words of Solomon, I'm gonna go over that book. We're gonna go over that for sure. Like, the words of Solomon are so wise that, like, it's so beautiful. It's like, we need wisdom. Wisdom is like a beautiful woman that seeks, that if we seek it, it seeks us, and it travels with us everywhere. With wisdom, everything else comes.